everyone. Today we're going to be talking about checks, checkmates, and draws. So, in this game, we're going to first look at checks. Remember, white always goes first. This is a rule that you always have to follow. So black can never go first. It's not like you get to choose. It's the game. It's rules. White goes first, then black continues. Let's just say black plays something like this. So you could take diagonal and you could take right back. Now you could do something called a check. People won't do this check because, as you can see, if I check, the queen would just take back. But let's just say he does the check and the queen doesn't take back. At least in this scenario. So it's check. There are three ways to block a check. But first, let's look over what a check is. A check means that your king is in trouble. It's going to be taken in the next move. So it has to move somewhere or get blocked. So let's just say the king moves here. Now it's not in check anymore. You could also block it like this, or this. People usually don't do this because once you take here, you could take like with the horse or the bishop. But as you notice, that a queen is way stronger than a bishop, so you would not want to do this. So people usually block with weak. So let's just say he blocks with horse. Now it's not check anymore because the bishop's attacking the horse, and the bishop can't jump over pieces. Sorry about that. This is not possible. You can't just take it like this. But you can't block if the horse is doing the check. As you can see here, it's check. You can't block it. You would have to run. Let's just say there's no bishop here. You would have to run or take. And the last option we're going to be looking at is take. In this situation, the queen can't take this bishop, and you notice that there's no one checking it anymore, and it's all fine for black. Next, let's look at checkmate, or how you win the game. So let's take all these pieces out of the board, and let's just put two rooks. Today, we're going to be looking at two checkmates that aren't going to take so long. They're probably the simplest checkmates, in my opinion, at least. And they're called the stairway mate and the kiss of death. Sorry about that. Okay. Let's get one rook and a king. So in this situation, as you can see, black is totally winning because it has two rooks and white only has a king. So the stairway mate is possible if you have one queen or even two queens. You might say, how do I get two queens? Let's get the second queen there. How do I get a second queen? I thought you only had one queen. Well, you get two queens with pawn domination. Let's just say black has a pawn all the way over here. And he's going to reach the end of the board right now. So now he reached the end of the board. He can't go anywhere anymore. He's basically stuck. So you might say, what's the use of a stuck pawn? Well, when you reach the end of the board, you could bring any piece into the game, except a king or a pawn. We could bring a queen, a rook, a bishop, a horse, anything that you like. So in most situations, people bring out a queen because that's the strongest piece. And that's how you could get two queens. But in this situation, he only has two rooks. So let's look at the stairway mate. For the stairway mate, having two rooks like this is not a good thing. You should have them in two different files. It could be all the way over here. It just has to be different files. So what the stairway mate's aim is to corner the king in one space. So the move would be here or here. So let's just go here. Now, the king can't go forward, so it's stuck. So he would move something like this, and that's his checkmate. You might ask how. He's in check, basically, but that doesn't mean he dies. But wherever he goes, he's killed. If he goes here, you lose the king. If you go here, you lose the king. Anywhere you go, he's gone. So the king is trapped, it's game over. So that's checkmate. There's only one way to actually escape a checkmate, and that is to stall it. Stalling a checkmate is basically stalling a check. So let's just see the same situation, but in this situation, it's a check. You might ask how? The king can't move anywhere, but you could block it with a horse, and a rook can't jump over the horse, so it's not check anymore. So now it's the rook's turn. You would do something like this, and then you would continue. You might ask, what's the use of stalling the game? Well, if you stall the game for 50 moves, it will be a draw. That's one of the ways you could draw. The other way you could draw is called, that is stalemate. And this happens a lot in the Kiss of Death. The Kiss of Death is very similar to the Stairway Mate. The same, you're trying to trap the king, and then instead of bringing a rook here, you bring the king to this rank. So, after a couple of moves, let's just say he plays this, he will go here. He can't jump here to here, but I'm just saying after a couple of moves, you're going to come back here. Or maybe here. Let's just say he goes here. So now your aim is to bring the king all the way to the end. Notice that the king can't go here, or else it would be checkmate. It has nowhere to go. So he would go here and then here. So this is checkmate. He can't go anywhere. You could even have a little fun by moving this. He has to go here, and then this is still checkmate. This is the Kiss of Death. Sometimes in the Kiss of Death, you end up in a stalemate, which is favorable for writing the situation. Because now, the king can't go anywhere, but this is not checkmate because there's no one checking him. You might ask then, why did they bring the queen here? Well, the main reason to bring the queen, the reason why he brought the queen here was to do checkmate right here. I mean, if he moves somewhere, I guess it won't be checkmate. But no matter where he moves, he's stuck. If he goes here, he loses his king. But he's not in check. If he was in check, this would be checkmate. But he's not in check, so it's stalemate. It's a draw. The other two ways to draw is a perpetual check or a perpetual move. So what a perpetual check is, you're constantly checking the person 3 to 4 times, and then it's a draw. And notice, if he goes here, check, here, and then he checks like this wouldn't be stalemate. Perpetual check is usually like this. But even if you check like this, eventually it'll also become a draw. If you do this, check, and then you do this, check, and then you check here, and then you keep on changing your pattern, it will be a draw anyway. Because as you can see here, black is not doing anything but checks. Perpetual move is, let's just say, he has a pawn. He does this, he does this, he does this, he does this. And they're doing the same move over and over again, 3 to 4 times. It will be a draw again. There's also one other way to draw, and it's quite obvious. It's when you don't have enough material. Usually when the only reason that you could lose is because you have one horse that's not enough material to do checkmate, one bishop, which is not enough material to do checkmate, or just one king. So this is draw. No matter what you do, if you go here, he can't go anywhere near the king, so it's draw. So that's all the ways you can draw. In the next video, we're going to be talking about tactics to win chess. Bye!